Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the GameCast NewsCast. I am Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula. Joining me, he's back, everybody! It's Max! He's finally back!
Hello, everybody.
He's been gone for an unacceptable amount of time, but he's back.
Yeah, I know. Max has been trash. Max has been a trash human.
Yes, you've been too busy. It's unacceptable. You need to make time. It's only an hour.
I know.
It's all that I need you to make.
I know. I'm trying, okay? Yeah, this has been the first week in a very long time where I've done, like, anything gaming. Like, I just picked up a few things from Tech Raptor as well, so it's kind of nice to get back into it and everything because the last few months have been a little stressful without it, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Yes, I understand that. So, yeah. Hopefully, your life's going to calm down a bit now and we can get back to doing the occasional podcast, yes?
Well, considering we're going into fall season, we'll see. The busiest gaming season of the year.
Yeah, that's true. But, you know, because there's more to talk about on the podcast, Max.
That's true. And that would be ideal, huh?
Yes, it would. Really would. Hint! Anyway, since you've actually been playing stuff then this week, Max, what have you been playing this week?
Well, believe it or not, PUBG Mobile, rather. There's one of the friends I have in one of the startups I work with. He was like, "Hey Max, do you play any games?" And because he's part of like gamification, the gamification side of this app. So he like talks about games all the time, and obviously I like games. So he asked me which sort of games I play, and I told him, and he's like, "Oh, I only really play like mobile games right now because I've been too busy for anything else." So and PUBG is lately what he's been playing. And it's free on mobile, so I was like, sure, why the hell not? I'll try it out. I've played about 4 or 5 matches of it since. And it was my first ever time playing PUBG, was like on mobile. The only other battle royale I played was Fortnite. And it was pretty fun. We did a good job in squads. We got like the second squad alive or like the third squad alive. And then in my other rounds I've been playing, I've actually been doing really well. I got 2 chicken dinners already in squads, which is awesome. It's a fun game. I kind of get it. I don't think I'll be playing it like a ton more. Because matches take like 30 to 40 minutes and ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, we'll see. But it's fun. Other than that, I've been playing Spider-Man though. I'm just about to platinum it actually. Spider-Man.
Singing it really inappropriately.
But yeah, I've been playing Spider-Man. I'm just about to platinum it actually. The other day I 100%ed the city events. I just need to finish the story now.
How?
How? What do you mean how?
How do you even platinum games? I cannot do that.
I love doing it.
I don't have the patience at all.
To be fair, I don't know what it is with Spider-Man because I don't really care for open world games that much lately, and as we know, Spider-Man, as fun as it really just is an open world game with like a Spider-Man just like cover on it. But I don't know what it is. It's about how it feels or something. And also the fact that I'm in an apartment.
Yeah, surely like
what's that?
Things like the traversal and everything must help.
It's fantastic. And the fact that you can get across the entire map in like 5 minutes is really nice. Like it's a decently sized map. It's not overly huge. Events happen like that. Like, you know, the crimes. Have you played the game?
I am receiving the game tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Well, basically, a lot of the events that happen are just random crimes that happen throughout the city, and they literally happen like every 2 seconds, and each district has like 10 of them that you need to finish if you want 100% it. And they literally happen every 2 seconds as you're swinging through. So you just swing over like a couple 100 meters, like beat up a few guys and then continue. So they make it really easy to do. And also living in an apartment, I always have people talking and coming in my room. So like when everyone's talking, everyone's home, that's like just an easy mindless game to play. Like doing the side content and everything, because I don't have to pay attention to what's going on really. Just kind of have to get it done. Yeah. So that's really helped. But yeah, like I'm right at the end. And also, Spider-Man Platinum is literally just 100%ing. Like, you don't have to do anything special. So it's also one of the easier ones to get. But yeah, I'm just about at the end of the story. I want to hopefully finish it today after this podcast if I get the chance. Just because I feel like I'm at the point where that's going to start getting spoiled for me soon, and I'd just like to get it over with.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like people have done a pretty good job avoiding spoilers, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I've not seen it like all over the internet. It's like, spoiler alert for Spider-Man. I've just heard like, Spider-Man's a really good game. It's got X, Y, Z that's good about it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fun. It's worth playing. The story's actually pretty cool. Like, I did not. It gets dark, dude. Like, it's pretty. I don't want to say anything, of course, to spoil it, but it goes places I didn't expect it to go.
Yeah, is it deservedly dark, like proper dark, or is it just unedgy dark?
No. I think it's deservedly dark. Don't worry, there's still a lot of not dark moments, but no, it's very deservedly dark. It's okay, quite surprising, actually. I'm a huge fan of it. But
good.
Yeah, and then other than that, I've been playing a lot of Rocket League. I'm like kind of trying to like maybe get into the pro scene for Rocket League. I think that'd be really, really cool. So I want to try doing that. So I've been playing it quite a bit lately. I was trying with Halo, but like finding 3 other people in a franchise that's mostly dying on a console that nobody likes is very difficult. So
yeah, I know what you mean.
So as much as I love Halo and it's my baby and it's probably the game I'm best at, I switch over to Rocket League because that's much easier to do. And also my roommate and one of my best friends loves Rocket League as well. So it's much easier to just like get on board. And there's also like 2v2s, 3v3s and everything. So less people to find, more of a community. It's just a lot easier or a lot more approachable. So we'll see. But so I've been playing a lot of that whenever I can, fitting in a game here and there.
Right. Anyway, so is that all you've been playing then?
That I can think of, yeah, for the most part, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
How about you, buddy?
Oh. I just noticed on Steam, Recore, the definitive edition, has been released on Steam.
Yeah.
Aww.
I hate that game.
Aww.
I really don't like that game.
Aww.
It has so much potential, mate. It has so much potential. I have that game on physical. I physically bought that game.
Is that why you don't like it? It's because it didn't live up to it?
Yeah. It's like not a finished game. Like actually. Like the fact that there's a definitive edition is like straight up almost a scam to me. Seriously, like the last half of the game like just doesn't exist. It just like starts to, you can just tell they ran out of time to develop the game and it just becomes this barren thing. So yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's step away from that.
Yeah.
This week then, I have been playing a bit more of 2 Point Hospital, which is the theme hospital's spiritual successor. I think I talked about it last week a little bit. But,
how you liking it?
I'm still enjoying it. It's good. I've run into a slight, because I'm trying to 3-star all of the hospitals that you can do, like as it goes along, as opposed to just sort of, I don't know. It's like you can move on to the next one after you've got 1 star.
Okay.
In most cases, but I want to 3-star all of them.
Right.
And I'm kind of just stuck on this one now, and it's a bit of a slog. And I'm just like, no, please. I also have the problem. This is a problem that's entirely my fault.
Okay.
And I'm having people queuing up to go to specific, like to a GP's office or to go to psychiatry. Those are like the 2 big blockades for me.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that while I have a few, you can buy extra space for your lots as well after like the first 2.
Okay.
And while I've got all these empty buildings, I kind of don't want to build any GP's offices and shit there because it messes up the look of the hospital and the consistency of everything.
So it's the aesthetical reasons, which is why you don't want to.
Yes, exactly.
That's fair.
It's entirely my own fault. See, the problem is it shouldn't be. This should be quite simple to just go. The thing is, you can even like once you've built a room, you can move the room.
Really?
But psychologically, I just go, no, but I like that like that. But I need to build more stuff, but I don't want to build more stuff because it won't look right. But then I can't... I'm having a really strange mental, like... I don't get what I'm doing.
That's funny as
really
hell.
Strange. So I've been playing a bit of that. I may review that at some point. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I might not. I might try and just preserve my enjoyment. I've also played... Well, I tried the first mission of the new DLC for A Hat in Time.
Oh, yeah?
It's really fucking difficult. Well, it's not difficult, but it is difficult if you want to get the bonus objectives, which I do.
Right.
So, have you played A Hat in Time?
No, I want to. I know that it's like Banjo-Kazooie
Okay.
and everything, though. I know like the type of games it is.
In the first hub level, because
Okay.
there's like 6 hub levels, and each hub level has
Hello?
several stages to it.
Oh, you cut out for a few seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, on the final stage of the first level...
Okay. In the DLC?
No, well, both.
Oh, okay.
In the game, the whole stage gets... All the water's replaced with lava, and you have to sort of turn these taps off. It's a bit weird. Don't ask. And so you have to do that, and you know, in the actual, in the main game of it, the original sort of version of it, it's you know, it's challenging-ish, but it's fine.
Okay.
In this version, in this new revamped, I think it's basically just a challenge mode for this.
Okay.
But it's called extra hot. So the stage is now extra hot. So you heat up as you go around the level.
Okay.
And once you get to a certain heat level, you start losing health.
Nice.
You can cool yourself down. There's about, I'd argue, far too few water sources in the level, such as buckets of water or swimming pools. They can cool you down.
Okay.
You've got about 6 taps to turn off. The bonus challenge is one, to not overheat and lose any health through overheating.
Okay.
Which, you know, is moderately tricky but doable.
Okay.
To get the second one, you have to not cool down more than twice.
Oh, so you have to just like plow through the level, if possible?
Yes! And it's when you start playing through it, you make stupid mistakes.
Right.
It's really difficult. I've not finished that first level. I've died like 10 times. And I just rage quit. I was like, no, I don't want this.
That's funny as hell.
That really annoys me. You could probably do one run to get one challenge and one run to get the other challenge, maybe.
Oh, that would be nice. I love when games do that. Like, you don't have to do them all at once.
Like that,
yeah.
But I don't know if that's the case, and it would be
Just
really
try
annoying.
doing one. Just try getting one done and then see.
Yeah, I know. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. that does sound. It sounds like
yeah.
something straight out of Mario 64, though.
Yeah, it's real difficult. I don't like it. I do like it. It's a good game.
Yeah.
It actually went on sale for like
Oh, for this
for a change.
DLC pack.
Yeah. It's on sale at the moment, 40% off. It's almost never on sale. It's one of those games, so
Yeah.
it makes a nice change.
Well, it's only like a year old,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, usually games that go on sale after a while.
Yeah.
It took quite a long time. There's a game called Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. It's a VR shooting range, basically.
Okay.
There's other things to it, but that's like the main sort of gist of it.
Yeah.
And that has never been on sale. I've had it on my wishlist for about 18 months at least, and it's never been on sale.
Wow. They're targeting you specifically, that's why.
It kind of annoys me. Anyway, so there's those two, and the final thing I will mention then is the Forza Horizon 4 PC demo.
I heard that's fantastic.
Yeah, So, did you watch my impressions on the Crew 2's demo?
Nope. Not a personal thing.
My impressions
Nope.
on the Crew 2's demo were lukewarm at best.
Okay. Sad, because that game seems awesome.
I wasn't a massive fan of it. I don't like a lot of things about it. It wasn't for me. This is infinitely better.
Okay.
I love the driving in it. Each car feels just completely different to each other. The start of the demo, it sort of takes you through the seasons as a sort of showcase. So
nice.
You start out just going through a race in a supercar, and it's like, okay, this is a cool driving game. Then you transition to, because their other big selling point is seasons. So you transition to winter, where you play in a really big sort of meaty truck, but that truck handles completely differently, and it feels so much more beefy and weighty,
right,
compared to the supercar. And then you transition to a rally car, which is like really slippery, slidey, and drift happy. And yeah, they nailed the driving in that really well. My only complaint is that the damage model, the damage model could be better.
What do you mean?
More in depth.
Oh.
Cars don't deform properly. They get like a dent and a scrape, and that's it. You can change the settings so that if you crash often enough, your car starts to veer to the left or the right, or the engine can get damaged. But there's no aesthetics to go along with that, and it kind of annoys me. Oh,
that might just be in the beta, because from what I remember from Forza, they usually do a pretty good job with that, from what I remember.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, other than that, I genuinely really enjoyed it. It's considering I'm actually thinking of getting it close to launch time,
right,
that says a lot, because I never do that.
Yeah, no, dude, Forza Horizon is probably one of the best racing games I've ever played in my life. Forza Horizon 3 is, I can't believe how much I played that game. For a racing game. So I imagine the fourth will be just as good.
So what they've done with it, the map and everything, the map is mostly accurate to the region that it's set in.
Okay. Oh yeah, because it's in the UK, right?
It's in the north of England specifically.
Okay.
You know how I know that? Because every fucking road has a dry stone wall next to it. All of them. Without exception. It's someone has seen an episode of Emmerdale or Last of the Summer Wine or something, because it's just that's okay, fine.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, okay. It's I've seen the north of England once. Yeah, so I don't mind. My family's from the north of England, so it really didn't take me long to pin down that that's the location they're aiming for.
Right. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they apart from the road width, they've got the location pretty spot on. The roads are they're really wide.
Oh, that just might be for game, for the game.
Yeah, it is for the game purposes, but they're American wide, whereas you have to about half that probably to get
my god, really?
British size. Well, maybe not half, but British roads are a lot narrower, and they're infinitely more twisty than American roads.
Okay.
But then our road system was it's the roads that were adapted from the trails people would take horses and carts down.
Okay.
In the 1400s. It's just those trails,
right,
but with tarmac over them. Whereas your roads were just designed from scratch to be big and wide and for big carriages and cars and everything.
And capitalism.
So, yes! That's why London is such a train wreck when it comes to the road layout. It's just because it's a big thing that's just evolved over time, whereas a lot of America was just here's a settlement, let's make a grid, there's the roads.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Both have their own, merits.
Right.
I prefer the look of London to, say, I don't know, Washington or New York, but practically, Washington and New York are better.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Good for Forza, though.
Yes. That's some dead air I need to cut out. I just needed a drink. Yeah.
No worries.
Forza is... Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the demo. Coming out in like 2 weeks.
Is it? Yeah, I guess it is
actually,
one of those games.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick up the demo. Not the demo, the full game.
Hell yeah,
the demo
dude.
ends today.
Yeah, Forza's fucking cool. I love Horizon way more than the normal one.
Yeah, there's more... Isn't that... What's the difference again? I can't quite remember.
Horizon's open world. Forza is just like a racing game.
Oh, it's like, hey, let's do another race. Let's do another race.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Whereas Horizon's like Burnout Paradise open world. Like it's seriously Horizon 3 was the closest. It was like it feels like the lost sequel to Burnout Paradise that I always wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
It's only got 3 on the Microsoft Store. It's only got 3.5 stars. I've seen a lot of people complaining that it's just crashed for them though, so that might be why.
Yeah. I mean, it's also the Microsoft Store.
That's true. Well, that's where I'm going to be getting it from, if anywhere. Because
yeah, you have to.
Yeah, because I don't have an Xbox and I never plan on owning one because fuck that.
Sad. Meanwhile, I'm about to go get the One X.
I don't need it. I have a gaming PC.
No, yeah, it makes sense.
What do I need it for?
That makes sense. I just like having the console version of it.
Maybe. Anyway. So yeah, that's what I played. I did a video for it. It was... I wasn't actually happy with the video.
Why?
Because... not specifically the content of the video.
Okay.
I thought I did a good job of that. But I've been having a couple of issues recently with recording or editing software not rendering the video out properly, and it's come out really... the bit rate's been the issue more than anything.
Okay.
It's come out really blocky and not correct.
Just gross.
Yeah, so I've had to deliberately... I spent about an hour today just trying to work out, because I recorded 2 more episodes of the GameCast House of Fun, the Sims series that you should totally watch that's coming back this week. Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna fix this before I do that.
Right.
And it took me like an hour, and that was depressing.
No kidding.
It was a combination of the recording software and the editing software rendering not correctly.
Okay.
So yeah, it's fine. I've got it in the end.
Yeah. What editor do you use again?
Vegas, but it was editing it at a variable bitrate that wasn't ideal.
Okay.
So I changed the format and told it to render at a constant bitrate. So
there you go.
That'll hopefully be better.
Yeah.
Well, I rendered out a small bit of it, and it did seem to be better because I rendered it out of the variable and then the constant, and it looked better. So hopefully,
yeah,
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when I edit the GameCast House of Fun episode 4 and 5 that you can totally go and watch soon. Yes, you need to go and watch them because you're in them.
Yeah, I know.
Go and watch them.
I will.
Anyway. Holy shit, that was... Oh my god. I told you the what have we been playing section's been getting longer.
Yeah,
that
no
was
kidding.
really long. I am actually going to do some editing and cut some of that down because that was madness. 27 minutes. Right. Let us finally then get on to the first story of the show. Fuck you, EA.
Whoa.
I got right up to the filter there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Finland have taken a leaf out of Belgium's book and have begun investigating the use of loot box systems in video games.
Woo!
Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Sorry, it's a good bit carried away.
No, you're good. You're good.
So, well, according to the Tech Raptor article that I'm reading, that I'm remembering this source from, loot boxes have been part and parcel of some video games for over a decade. That's depressing.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, CSGO is basically a decade old, and that was one of the first games to have them in.
Well, and just like MMOs in general. It makes, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. But
Yeah,
they
I think it's
weren't.
less.
I don't think you paid for them, right? At least with real money.
CS:GO, you can. I think you have to pay for the keys to unlock them. It's like in TF2.
Yeah, sorry, CS:GO and all
you-
that. Yeah, but I mean like old MMOs.
Oh, right, old MMOs. I don't really count them as loot boxes necessarily.
Oh, that's
I don't
fair.
know. Slightly different. Anyway, so yes. So speaking of Counter-Strike, though, Counter-Strike is the only game that's one of the only games. Pardon me. That is specifically mentioned in this article by it's a Finnish paper called the Helsingin Sanomat. I'm pronouncing that incredibly incorrectly.
Wow.
I'm going to try and translate the page.
Some European you are.
Have you ever seen Finnish and all those kinds of languages? They are
Not really.
fucking they are incomprehensible.
No shit.
Even to most other Europeans, the Scandinavian languages are terrible.
Okay.
They are so different. It's madness. I don't get it. Right, so tech language into English. Let's try and translate this article. Oh, maybe not. Fuck's sake. Let's go through it. So anyway, we'll just have to do the TLDR of it then, because I'm not translating the whole article. But Finland's lotteries admission have begun an investigation into into specifically Counter-Strike and, by extension the rest of these games.
Right.
Because the loot box systems involved may be against Finland have a very strict rule on lotteries.
Okay.
So you've got, is it Powerball in America?
Yes, the Powerball lottery, yeah.
So you got Powerball. We've got the National Lottery over here in the UK.
Okay.
Finland does not have one by law. They're not allowed to have those kinds of lottery, a commercial lottery.
Oh, so they're not trash.
Yeah, I know. You sometimes wonder why they end up with the really high ratings of citizen happiness.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to live there. That's a shame. So yeah, it's against the only thing you can do lotteries for, I believe, are charities, and there is one other exception that I can't remember.
Okay.
And funnily enough, Valve is not a charity.
Really?
It's funny that, isn't it? I think some game publishers might like to think they're charities. That they're sort of giving all this stuff to us, and they just can't afford these things at all. The piles of money that they're all sitting on. So there are 4 specific things that the Finnish Lotteries admission have, or 4 specific conditions for a loot box system to be considered gambling in Finland.
Okay.
Conditions are: 1, they can be purchased partly or entirely with real world money. 2, players do not know what they will receive from the box. 3, the box or its contents can be exchanged for real world money through either the game's publisher or through a third party. And 4, the publisher of the game does not have a lottery license.
Sounds like loot boxes.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, just a bit.
So unless Valve decides to acquire a lottery license from the Finnish Lotteries admission,
Probably not going to do that.
They probably wouldn't get one anyway.
Yeah.
Then I would say that the things that they offer inside their games, these loot boxes, would probably be considered gambling.
Yeah, probably. It's probably a safe bet.
I do have there is a strange thing about this, though. Does that mean that trading card packs are considered gambling in Finland?
I
know the comparison's brought up a lot, and I don't think the comparison's fair. I think they're very different things.
Why do you think they're different things?
Because you have a physical thing out of a trading card pack. You have a physical thing that will continuously be worth something.
Oh, right,
the thing
okay.
you get from a loot box in a game is only worth something as long as the servers are on.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, whereas from a trading card pack, you have a tangible thing in your hand that you can exchange for money, provided it has not been destroyed.
I guess you could also argue with like a trading card pack, you're getting like all cards, whereas like a loot box could be like different tiers of items.
Yeah.
Like meaning like a weapon or like a shout or a skin, and those could be seen as different value in and of itself.
Yeah. I believe one of the shit companies used the comparison to the Belgian Gambling Commission, and Belgium came back with, no, the difference is they use like a specific kind of trading card that goes, the amount of cards produced for each individual card, the amount produced isn't different regardless of their apparent rarity.
Right.
They don't produce less of certain cards. So they're not the same, whereas there is actually less of the rare items in the loot box because of the way that they are.
Because of the percentage rate.
Quantity of them in the world, yeah.
Right. Makes sense. I think wasn't that Blizzard that did that?
I think so.
Yeah, with
EA
that was one of the
doing
first
real
cases.
Fun things at the moment.
Yeah,
EA
of
are
course
playing
they
a
are.
dangerous game right now.
What are they doing now? God. These fucking
Have
assholes.
you not heard about this?
Not a ton.
So EA, well, a load of companies got told to remove loot boxes from their games in Belgium because they were ruled illegal. EA have refused and are currently now fighting the Belgian government to prove loot boxes aren't gambling.
God. Are you kidding me?
No, I wish I was.
What the fuck? God, that's so dumb.
The thing is, I don't really think it can end well for EA regardless, because either they get ruled illegal, or they get ruled legal, but the Belgian Gambling Commission has said if that happens, they'll probably look into changing the law.
So they're fucked either way.
Yeah, you'd think, but you know.
Whatever.
EA or EA.
Yeah,
Still,
they are.
though, I think that this is... We've said this a few times with the whole thing going on in Belgium and Hawaii and the Netherlands, that it would catch on, that other governments would start paying attention to this shit. And they have. Sure, it's Finland, and, you know, some people might go, oh, it's Finland, it's a small country, who cares? But the small countries are the ones that are testing grounds for this kind of shit.
Yep.
For big legislative changes, a small country doing a thing and seeing how it goes is not unheard of, and certainly not uncommon.
I think it's a good start, too.
It's a very good start to, you know, to actually regulating the avarice of these fuck-awful companies.
Mm.
You know, it had to get to this point. They kept pushing the envelope. At some point, you know, an authority would have had to have got involved, because it's just getting ridiculous, is it not?
Just a bit.
Yeah. Yes, as much as the whole games are expensive to make argument gets brought out, they're only expensive to make because the publishers make them that way.
Exactly.
They don't have to be that expensive to make.
Exactly.
And they say, like, when they use the player choice argument, oh, they're just choosing to get rid of the grind. Who put the grind in there in the first place? Who made the grind like that people might be tempted to buy stuff to speed it along? Certainly wasn't us.
Nope. I like playing as much of a game as I can.
Yeah. And, you know, we've had stories of really great single-player games doing really well. Like, we've had 2 really great ones this year. We've had Spider-Man and God of War, games that are doing fucking amazingly sales-wise.
Dead Cells.
Even Dead Cells in the indie circuit. Like, these are all really just... They're great single-player games with no bullshit attached. I mean, there's a little bit of the sort of AAA bullshit with Spider-Man, but that's to be expected nowadays. But, like, none of the sort of fucking around with the actual game bit.
Yeah.
And they're selling really well, because that's what people actually want. A game that's not been fucked with.
Yep, pretty much. But publishers will never understand that, so...
Yeah. Well, you know, like, I'd be very surprised if God of War didn't make its money back and some. That's the thing. But, exactly, it must have done. But it didn't make all of the money that could possibly exist in the world, which means to some of these publishers like EA, it doesn't mean anything. It's fucking worthless.
That's funny. And true.
Yes, it is. Depressingly true. However, these awful companies might well have their avarice starting to be reined in a little bit by governments fairly soon, and it's about damn time. And on that positive note, let's move on to the next story. So Nintendo are a piece of shit, aren't they?
That may be the first time you've said that on here.
Might be. Well, to be fair, since we actually started GameCast, they've been having a pretty good run of things, mostly.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Nintendo have done a thing that actually made me not want to buy their online service.
Yeah.
It's literally made me go, well, fuck that then. For $17.99 for a year, which is admittedly incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
That is, you know, that's a quarter of the price of PlayStation Plus. I don't know how much Xbox Gold is.
Same
Xbox
thing.
Live.
It's 2 months worth. Less than 2 months worth.
There you go then. Well, that means... Holy fuck, that means Xbox Live is more expensive than PS Plus then.
Well, I pay $10 a month for each, but you can buy like yearly stuff. But if you just like...
Oh, yeah. 10 a month. Oh, yeah, it's in dollars, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Convert it down, it works about... Yeah, okay. Anyway. So, yeah, $17.99 for a year is a pretty good price.
Yep.
Actually. It's not bad. And, you know, I think in the modern day, well, I'm not a massive fan of paying for online because I'm mostly a PC gamer. So, you know, you kind of end up with that mindset from there.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm already paying for the internet. Why am I paying another thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's £18 for a year, and with that, you get access to the online play of games, a library of NES games, and with added what? NES games with online play integrated into them.
Yes, they said they were going to be doing that a while ago. They said they were going to start implementing online into like really old games and like new features and stuff. I don't remember what examples they gave, but it sounds kind of cool, to be honest.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's that and the ability to have cloud saves. A lot of people have lambasted them for holding cloud saves behind that, but
well,
one of the other consoles does it, doesn't it?
I don't think so. Do they? Does PlayStation do that?
I believe it's either the PS4 or the Xbox One holds cloud saves behind the subscription. I
think it is PlayStation because I saw people arguing it on a Twitter thread earlier today.
Okay. So that's not that. While that's annoying and an issue, it's not a Nintendo exclusive issue.
Right.
So anyway, so that's what they're offering with the online service, which isn't too bad. Again, for the price, that's not too bad.
Right.
However, the thing that put me off is the fact, is twofold. Firstly, the Switch will require a weekly online check-in to allow you to continue to play the library of NES games. So,
yeah.
For instance, if you go on holiday for more than a week to somewhere that doesn't really have any particular internet as such, because, you go to some places that don't have Wi-Fi, that's not unheard of.
Yep.
And you take your Switch with you, it's like, well, better be prepared to not be playing your NES games after a week then.
Yep.
Or if you're just someone who has rather patchy internet, you just can't access it frequently. Which again, some people have. That's understandable. So you won't be able to do that if you don't check in. And the thing that I find particularly egregious and shitty, your cloud saves will be automatically deleted if your subscription lapses.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you not?
No.
Well, now you do. They don't even store them for an amount of time. If your subscription runs out, get fucked.
Wow. That's absolute trash.
Yeah. Not good. So, PS4 and Xbox One do... Well, they... Right. It was the PS4 that requires Plus for cloud saves. I've just come across that. So the Xbox One's cloud saves are kept indefinitely because they don't require anything for it. If your PS Plus subscription lapses, you have 6 months before they delete your cloud saves.
That's not bad.
No, that's not too bad. So, in this case, though, they delete it immediately.
Yeah,
so
that's...
you could end up with the shitty case where you may be... Say you're a person who's not very good at managing money and doesn't have a spreadsheet to make sure you don't overspend, like I need, because I would overspend if I didn't have a spreadsheet. And you don't have enough money for your Nintendo online subscription for the month, because I think you can pay monthly. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Oh, I forget it is $20 a year, but still.
Yeah, but still, even if we were coming up to the round on the year and you just happen to not have enough money.
Right.
And while this scenario I'm about to suggest is unlikely, it could still happen. So your subscription lapses, you're like, oh shit, no, I've lost all my cloud saves. And then your Switch gets broken or stolen or something similar like that. You're fucked. You lost all that progress. All the main thing that people have been complaining about for the last year, someone my partner works with has a Switch, and she had Breath of the Wild on it. She had a really far through save file. She left the Switch in the car, and it ended up getting stolen with a load of other stuff while she was somewhere, and she lost all that data.
Well.
So yeah. Get fucked. 50 hours of progress. So while this scenario is unlikely, it could happen.
Yes, it can.
Yeah, it's not beyond the realms of possibility for something like that to happen, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No.
I have a comparison actually. On the 3DS, there is a thing called Pokemon Bank. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I know Pokemon Bank.
Yeah, it's basically a big Pokemon storage thing that you can use to transfer Pokemon from different generations to each other and store I think it's several thousand in one place, and then you can just transfer them between games. It's really nice and convenient. I quite like it.
Yeah.
And it costs £5 per year just for the server costs, which is that's actually not too bad. I don't mind paying that at all. But this year, because I don't really keep a track of it, I've not been playing my 3DS as much, so I haven't really been keeping a track of it.
Right.
I missed the actual due date for a new subscription, and I was like, I actually had the thought, it's like, well, what if I've left it so long that they've just deleted all of the Pokemon that I have? 'Cause
Right.
I've got quite a few on there. I've got quite a few shinies and good ones on there, so I'm like, oh god, please. So I paid the $5 again, and they kept everything still, even though it's like a good... It might probably only be about 2 weeks or so, maybe a little bit more, but, you know,
Still.
at least they kept them.
Yeah.
So, you know, they could do it with that, but they can't do it with the online for the Switch. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I really don't understand where Nintendo is coming from with this at all. Like, because it's not like it's even like an old practice, or I don't know. There are some people trying to say like, oh, this is their first time, so like it'll give it some time and it'll get better and everything. Like, yeah, that would make sense if they were the first ones like getting involved.
Like I say, if they didn't have two other companies having had 10 years of experience.
Exactly.
To
So
look
it's just
at and
kind of
go,
like,
oh, that worked. That didn't work. That worked. They should be taking the elements that worked from all of it that people liked and go, we'll use those bits.
yeah, this should be the best online service.
Yeah,
They should have taken those and then just made it better.
They've got the lessons that the other companies have learned and gone, hey, we can do that. But yeah,
I genuinely wonder if they just don't pay attention.
It feels like that sometimes with
Yeah.
Nintendo. They just sort of do what they like and they don't really give a shit what the other two companies do.
Which I
That's
can't...
really what it feels like.
Oh, they shouldn't do that. That makes no sense. But, like, it does feel
shouldn't,
that
and
way.
The thing is, half the... Like, it works for them about 50% of the time. 50% of the time it's just like, hey, Nintendo are doing their own thing, and that's great. And then the other 50% of the time it's like, Nintendo are doing their own thing, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, they maybe shouldn't be doing that, but they are. So, you know, maybe they'll... like take this criticism on board, because a lot of people have been rightly criticizing it, just like they criticized the Xbox One for it when they revealed the Xbox One. The thing about, you know, the check-in
Yep.
was
That was like
was on
24
there.
hours or something, though, I think.
Oh yeah, yes, it was more egregious, but
It was
it
an
still
absurd
doesn't make
number.
this any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they got pilloried for it back then, so why on earth should Nintendo get away with it?
Right.
You know, we don't want this sort of slipping. We don't want the slipping standard of, you know, we've got quite a slipping standard in the games industry as it is.
Yeah,
I don't
we
want
do.
it to keep slipping. Yes. 5 years ago, microtransactions in full-price games is disgusting. That shouldn't be a thing. Nowadays, oh, they're in all of them.
Yep.
Great, fabulous.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
It is. But yes, so there is one thing though that the Nintendo Switch's online service is still doing all right.
And you get 5 seconds to guess.
That's about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Fortnite and other free-to-play games can be played online without a Nintendo Switch subscription, just like they can with the other two consoles.
Yep.
Which is the correct decision. Well done. That's exactly what they should have done. They're games that... Those kinds of games, especially on console, are the sort of things that you get someone to play to get into the console, as it were.
Yeah.
They're like the draw-ins, and then they're into this market, they're into the Switch market or the PS4 market, and they go, oh look, there's some other games on here, I'll have a look at these instead.
Yep.
You know, they're the draw-ins, and that's exactly what you should be doing with free games, is not putting another pay barrier to them, because that's exactly what people play free games to avoid, is a pay barrier.
Yep.
And it's a very good thing to... It's a very good way to not get people to play the free game on your service, thus making your service look hideously unattractive.
Yep. But
But Nintendo were doing the correct thing with that, at least. So that's something.
yeah, that's true. And you know, it's Fortnite, which is like the thing that literally every kid wants to play for some reason.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god, I love Fortnite. It's so good. Do you play Fortnite?
I saw this tweet.
I had a kid ask me this the other week at work, and I was just like...
Do you know who I am?
I was literally just like, no, I don't. No.
Don't get me wrong, it is fun. I really don't understand how the world like became obsessed with it. But anyways, I saw this tweet like yesterday. It was this journalist. He was like, yeah, so I gave my brother my old PS4, and I gave him Bloodborne, Spider-Man, and some other game. And the first thing he did when setting it up is downloading Fortnite.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. So I was like, all right.
All these good games, and then they have to go with that.
Yep.
Aww.
So, yeah, that's a thing.
Dear. Still, another thing the Nintendo Online Service is not doing great is some of the games won't actually support cloud saves.
Yeah, that's weird too. I don't understand that.
Yeah, we've got... So, a lot of them are first-party games. So we've got Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu will not be allowed cloud saves.
Okay.
In that specific instance, that makes sense because it's very much a thing. It's a takeover from like when you had the old Game Boy games, for instance. You can't have two people's games. You can't then restart your game, get the starter you didn't get, trade it to someone else's game, and then back to your bigger save file.
Right.
You can't do it like that. Whereas you sort of like in this instance, what they're on about is you can't cloud save your current save file, start again and do other stuff on that save file, and then just re-download your other save file and mix it like that.
So yeah, I guess that's like...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. So that still is the one specific case, which is like, it's like fine, whatever. But...
It kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
But then you've got things like Splatoon 2, where, you know, it actually does have a single-player campaign, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And some people might want to cloud save that. I don't really understand why cloud saving that is a bad thing.
Well, also like your multiplayer like character. Like...
Yeah. I really don't get the point of how that's a bad thing. Because they're actual, like... Oh, okay. Right, okay, so their actual statement says it's to ensure fair play. So, in this instance, in the terms of Splatoon 2, they're saying... Well, it might not be Splatoon 2, but in certain games, this feature would make it possible to, for example, regain items that had been traded to other players or revert to a higher online multiplayer ranking that had been lost.
Still.
Sort of, but your server shouldn't be designed... Like, the game shouldn't be designed in a way that would be possible, necessarily.
Yeah.
Especially in online games, if you... For instance, lose an online multiplayer ranking, you're online when that happens, so it should just sync up like that. So even if you download the cloud save,
yeah, the server side should have
back
the
up
most...
with the online server and just go, wait, no, that's not correct.
Yeah.
So basically, either Nintendo haven't thought of that, or their servers are badly designed.
Yeah, I don't know, mate.
Yeah, so... yeah, I don't know. Like, Dark Souls Remastered and FIFA 19 apparently don't support cloud saves on Switch.
That sucks.
Because reasons.
That really sucks.
Also... possibly ARMS, apparently.
ARMS. Forgot about that game.
Who cared about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember wanting it for a while and then just being like, oh, maybe not.
It's fun for like literally 20 minutes, and then I felt like I had done everything you could do in it already, and it was just kind of like, eh. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, that's the Nintendo Online service. It's a good idea, but they've kind of fouled it up a little bit, and it's really put me off. So
yeah.
Unless Nintendo do some damage control and change things, I probably won't be forking out.
Which they may. I actually don't know if they will or not.
No, it's Nintendo. They won't. Let's be honest.
I don't know. They do sometimes, right?
Sometimes they show common sense. A lot of the time they don't, though.
Yeah. Maybe that is naive of me to assume that they may. I don't know. We'll see.
It is. Anyway, let's move on, though, to... Yeah, let's move on to a positive final news story of the show. Well, Nintendo giveth with one hand and taketh away with the other, because we've had the sucker punch of the online being a bit shitty, but we do have a really, really strong Nintendo Direct.
And a strong Nintendo next year. Nintendo 2019.
Yes, because a lot of people were thinking, because they had the amazing year last year for their first party, when like in their launch year they've had all the first party releases.
Right.
This year we've had a lot of the strong indie releases come out, and a lot of people were thinking, oh, what have we got coming next year? Turns out, a lot. Yeah. They did have to reschedule the Nintendo Direct due to the
Earthquake.
Hokkaido
Right?
earthquake, yes, which is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
To those of you who think otherwise, fuck off.
Right.
Some people were actually complaining about
Yeah,
that.
I remember that. People are trash.
Yeah.
People always
You
complain.
are trash people, you need to go away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's been some really great announcements from this Nintendo Direct, and I'm really happy. One really fun thing, one thing that I actually really like, is that a load of different board games are being a load of board games are being adapted for the Switch. Which, bear in mind the way the Switch works as well, that would actually be a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Because you could just have the Switch as the board, as it were, and then just pass it around.
Yep.
So we've got games such as Settlers of Catan, which is it's the quintessential board game.
Is it really?
Like, for people who actually like board games as opposed to I play Monopoly, then it is the sort of it's the board game. If you say, do you want to play a board game, then someone would say, oh, Settlers of Catan.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, now you do. So other things we've got are Pandemic.
Nice.
So there was a flash game of Pandemic years and years ago, which I played a ton of in IT lessons.
It's on Steam now.
And there's a game called Plague Inc. that's been released on Steam a couple of years ago, and that's basically Pandemic.
Oh,
but
wait, I thought that was like a sequel.
I think so. But anyway, they're all based on a board game called Pandemic.
Okay.
And it's like, particularly Pandemic Legacy is a really fast-paced version, but Pandemic itself is actually just a really good board game.
Okay.
That I would actually be really interested to play on Switch. We've also got Munchkin, which is fine. Not a huge fan, but okay, you like it.
It's one of the only non-mainstream board games I've played.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Then we also have a tile building game called Carcassonne, or Carcassonne, I don't know how to pronounce that, where you construct medieval cities. I've not heard of that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does.
And also, the Lord of the Rings living card game, which is a deck builder.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yes. I very much like
Switch is great for that sort of thing.
Indeed. So, that's a load of board games coming to the Switch. What I want to do, so I don't just steamroll over this topic, what out of these things, let's do one each then. So I've done one thing, now you tell me one thing from this Nintendo Direct that excites you.
Luigi's Mansion 3. And I feel like that's most people. But Luigi's Mansion was like my first GameCube game, actually. I got it with the GameCube, I remember. Ah. Yeah. And I didn't even know the GameCube was a real...
Pokemon Coliseum with mine, if I remember rightly.
Great game as well.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I love that game. But I remember I didn't even know what the GameCube was, and my parents got it for me on one of my birthdays. And They bought me like the Star Fox Adventures bundle, and then Luigi's Mansion as the second game. And I played Luigi's Mansion first, and this was like my foray into horror, which is kind of weird to say because Luigi's Mansion isn't really that scary, but it was like the thing that kind of got me interested in horror, because horror is one of my favorite genres of all time now. And I don't know why Luigi's Mansion is the game to do it, but Luigi's Mansion was like the one that sort of like peaked that, or started that when I was a kid, because my parents were like super not into any of that, and like if they knew, if I tried to do anything like horror related, they probably would just not have signed on. So Luigi's Mansion was my first real exposure to that sort of thing, because I want to say I was still in grade school when the GameCube came out, if not like 6th grade, like early middle school. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely Luigi's Mansion 3. I know that there's like some sort of co-op mode. I read about the Direct. I haven't watched it, but there is some sort of co-op mode if I'm not mistaken. There's like this green Luigi that people don't know what it's called yet, which looks really, really interesting.
In Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 3DS, there was co-op.
Yeah, there was, but wasn't it just kind of whatever, if I remember correctly?
Not played the co-op, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't play the co-op either.
Yeah, I think it was just basically, like, nothing particularly.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so like having that on the Switch I think is going to be really, really cool, and it's one of those things that I want to get like day one, because Luigi's Mansion is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it is. Okay, so that's you. Now back to me. Let's go with Animal Crossing is getting a fucking Switch game, finally! You have no idea how fucking long I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I've been waiting it since the Switch was announced.
Yeah.
I've wanted an Animal Crossing game on it because, I love Animal Crossing so much, and it's like.
And the mobile game is trash.
Yeah, correct. The highest definition a proper Animal Crossing game has been in is 480p, because that was the definition of the Wii.
Wow.
Yeah, even the 3DS screen is screen resolution of. Thank you for not telling me Wikipedia. I think it's something like 300 by 400 or something weird.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a bit of an odd resolution because Nintendo. But anyway, so like the highest resolution it's ever been at is 480p, and now we're going to be able to see Animal Crossing in like a proper nice crisp resolution.
Tom Nook.
Oh, gotta love Tom Nook. Yes, I like even like on the little teaser trailer they had.
Yeah.
It was like it's just like Tom Nook's nice round crisp face, and it's like it's no like awful pixelating when you actually look at it close.
The happiest I've ever seen or been to see that little asshole.
Yeah. Fucking capitalist pig.
The memes that come out of it have been really funny too.
Oh, I love it. The worst thing is they were teasing Isabelle, like they were putting Isabelle, who was from New Leaf, into Smash. And everyone was just like, no, how can you do this to us? No! And then like just after that they had this, and everyone was just like, fucking finally! It's here!
Yeah. They always do a great job with those.
Oh, next year we're going to have Animal Crossing on the Switch, and when that comes out, expect to not hear from me for a while. So I'm just going to be playing that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, I remember Animal Crossing. I got Animal Crossing New Leaf as my first game. That was a 3DS one, correct?
That was my first game for the 3DS
no
as well.
way. Hell yeah.
I bought my 3DS. I wanted to get it for Pokemon X and Y, but I bought it like 6 months out from that.
Same.
And I was like, well, what else is out? And then I was like, oh shit, there's Animal Crossing out for that. Let's get that.
Yeah, literally I did the exact same thing. The day I bought it, I pre-ordered Pokemon Y and bought New Leaf. That's hilarious.
Oh, I got my first 3DS second hand for about 50 quid. I don't know how much is that.
Yeah, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good because it hadn't been out that long either.
Yeah. Nice.
So, next thing for you then, Max. What's the next thing you're looking forward to? Let's do... What have we done? We've done... So I've done 2, so...
This will be
one,
my second.
Then I'll do 1, then you do 1, and then we'll leave it.
Okay, fair. Let's see. Well, Mario's cool, even though that name is awful. But I'd probably have to say I think it's really cool that all those Final Fantasy games are coming, and like those games are also coming to like Xbox as well, which is cool. Like they're coming everywhere now.
Yeah, but who cares about that?
I know, but like it's just cool.
Exactly,
it's just cool that they're coming to just like all these different platforms, and it also means like Sony doesn't have like a fucking monopoly over it anymore. I guess I wonder like what changed here, but yeah, we're getting Final Fantasy 12, 7, 9, and 10, and then we're getting like those like weird like spin-off ones that like only hardcore Final Fantasy fans know of, which is like still really, really cool. Because it means I'll probably be open to doing that sort of thing with like other franchises as well, which I'm a huge fan of. Even though I haven't really played many Final Fantasy games, I've always wanted to, and I feel like the Switch is a good excuse to finally be able to, since like that's on the go and it's not mobile. Because I do not want to play those games on mobile. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. So we've got 7, 9, 10, and 12.
I know that there's like other like World of Final Fantasy's coming to it too, and yeah, there's some weird spin-off ones.
Like the weird chibi pocket edition of 15 came.
Oh yeah,
Switch
apparently that's good.
I've heard it's basically Final Fantasy 15 just with with different graphics.
Yep. I haven't played it yet. Final Fantasy 15 is my game of the year though, for 2016 or 17 or whatever year it came out.
You're telling me, yeah. Yeah, I still need to get that. You can get the PS4 version second hand for a tenner now, so I really got to get that at some point.
Yeah, dude. Well, there's the PC version.
Yeah, but that's expensive.
Yeah, true. Plus, playing those types of games on console is always cooler, at least in my opinion. I enjoy playing those more on console.
I don't know. I get just as much enjoyment playing something on PC as I do on console. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Final thing I'm going to mention then. There's a new game coming out by Game Freak. And
the Pokemon developers.
Game. Yes, it's not a Pokemon game. It's a monster RPG called Town. Don't really know a huge amount about it. It's not like overly, there's not a lot of information about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It looks odd but fun. Looks interesting. I just want to know more about it. Yeah. Like there's not a lot of non-Pokemon games that Game Freak have made. They've made.
Is there any?
Drill Dozer for the Game Boy Advance, Harmonite and Pocket Card Jockey for the 3DS, and Tembo the Badass Elephant that came out like a couple of years ago.
I remember that one.
Yeah. It's odd. But yeah, we don't know a lot about it. I just want to see more about it.
Yeah.
It is turn-based, we know that much, but, other than the basic theme, it's not overly specific on what's happening. So
right.
We'll look forward to that. Final thing from you then?
Let's see. I'm looking through the list again right now. I like the recap. Yoshi's cool. City Skylines cool.
City Skylines apparently performs like trash once your city gets above a certain size.
Oh god, that's like a Skyrim on the PS3. Once your save file hit a certain size, it was like trash. I mean, to be honest, I think
Inside Story on the 3DS.
That's
Kirby's
cool.
Epic Yarn on the 3DS.
See, that's the
Damacy
thing.
being remastered.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. I don't like. That's not like super meaningful to me because I haven't. I know the franchise, but I haven't played it much. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like for the most part, we've named all like the big, monumental ones right here. It was a good. I want to hear more about the Pokemon game coming, like the mainline Pokemon game. That's what I want.
I don't think we'll hear anything until the the Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu ones have come out.
Yeah.
I think they don't want to spoil those by hyping everyone up about the other ones.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
We'll probably start hearing stuff about it towards December.
Yeah. I guarantee you it's coming like next summer though.
Oh, I think they said it was coming next summer.
I thought
next year at least.
Yeah,
so.
they did. People always argue me on that, but they definitely said that.
They definitely said. I don't know if it was at E3 or just before.
It was.
They said that.
I believe it was at the E3 Direct. I thought it was last year's E3 Direct though, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it wasn't last year.
Oh, it wasn't? No. Okay, so it was this year's then. No. I remember it was like a very quick. They just said, "Oh yeah, it's coming," and like that's it. But
yeah, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh well, we don't," because it was this year, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, we don't know when one's coming, or if one's coming, or if they're going to make one for the 3DS," and they basically just say, "We've got Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee coming out this year on Switch," and then they literally just said, "We're going to have a core RPG next year."
Yeah.
Just to satisfy it. They just said there is going to be one.
Yeah, exactly. And I people were like argued me on that for some reason. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they said that.
They did.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not crazy.
Well, not
in that regard. Yeah. So yeah, other than that, I mean, it was a good Direct, but I feel like we named like all the big parts and like definitely all the parts that matter to me.
Yeah,
especially considering I haven't played much of a Nintendo console since the Wii, sadly.
Yeah. Well, you need to get a Switch because it's real good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is, really strong Direct. Really, really good stuff coming out of it. And on that positive note, let us wrap up the show. Oh, fuck me.
I was wrapping up the show in tinfoil.
Oh, I see. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of the GameCast NewsCast, and I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, whatever. Social links are in the description. Click the bell, because we need to do that now, apparently.
Love YouTube!
Yes, it's real great. But yes, anyway.
So he's like, yeah, fuck
Max,
no.
for joining me again at last.
Of course, my dude. Happy to be here.
Yes. You just need to start joining
Not be trash.
Often.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, correct. So hopefully I'll try and get you on maybe sort of once a month sort of thing for now. We'll try
that'd be fun.
that.
Yeah, that's a great start, actually.
We'll ease you back into it slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll try and do that. And otherwise, I hope everyone else enjoyed watching. And stay tuned to GameCast for news, reviews, let's plays and podcasts and lots of great content all coming into your lovely faces. And see you soon for something else.
Bye, everybody.